Well, that was an epic fail. Hey everyone, so we're getting very close to going away to Volkswagen, and as I explained in the last video there, we do have some slight mechanical problems with the van. One of them is we've got an oil leak, which we think we've already diagnosed. It's been to the mechanic, and we think it's coming from the rocker gasket. So the van's booked in for May 2nd to go in to get that done. But the problem that we also have is this ongoing problem with the losing power while we're driving. So the moment we're driving, we put our foot down, all of a sudden the power is just not there. And it's usually when you get to a hill. When you're driving on the motorway or anything like that, it drives quite happily at between 60 and 70 miles per hour. But the moment you actually need that power, it's just not there anymore. So I took it to the mechanic to get diagnosed. They checked the vacuum pipes. They said the vacuum pipes are all good, no damage. They seem to be in the right position. Check the turbo, because it almost feels like a turbo lag, like the turbo's lagging to come in. Check the turbo, said that the turbo was all good, all fine, shaft and everything was good in it, so don't think it's the turbo. But the problem is, because this is a 1998 van, none of their diagnostic equipment would fit on it. I've been on the forums to have a look to see what exactly this problem could actually be. And the main one seems to be coming down to two items. One of them is the airflow meter, the mass airflow meter, and the other one is the vacuum pressure sensor. Now the pressure sensor I can get from Euro car parts, but it does come in at a stingingly nearly £100. That includes VAT, obviously. And the mass airflow sensor, unfortunately, no Euro car parts can no longer get that part because it's such an old vehicle, and I have to get it directly from Volkswagen or Autodoc, but that's coming in at nearly £140, including delivery and VAT and everything as well. That's a lot of money that at the moment I don't really have to spend, and I don't really want to spend it if I don't need to. I know a lot of you probably say, well, you know, if it's a common fault, then you should just change them all. And you're probably right, I should probably change both of them. And I will eventually just start changing all of them. But at this point, I wanted to just get it ready so we can go to Volkswagen and hopefully have this power issue resolved. So what I've done myself is I've gone out and bought an OBD 2 meter, which will hopefully give me the code. And I know I just said that the other person's diagnostic equipment didn't fit on it, which is fine, which is why I had to go and buy this adapter for mine, so I can actually try and plug it in and see if it's throwing up any codes that might tell me if it is the mass airflow meter, if it's the pressure sensor, or if it's something else completely. The problem with all these forums is that they don't have they're not actually telling you exactly what it is. So there's so many different things. So I've had the same sort of issue, but they're not diagnosing it as that one issue. It's definitely this. It's either this, your engine could be blown, you could have your vacuum on incorrectly, your turbo could be blown, could be anything. It could be multiple things, and people seem to be having all the same issue, but it never seems to be the same problem. So rather than me going and spending a load of money on all these different parts and just changing everything, I think I'm going to try and diagnose it myself, have a look, see if it actually throws up anything, then go and buy that part. So I've got to go and have a look at a YouTube video now to actually find out where the diagnostic plug-in for this van is, where the OBD is in this van, because I have no idea. So give me 2 secs and I'll get back to you once I find it. So just so everyone knows, we did manage to locate the OBD here. It's just underneath the passenger side, just next to the passenger side door, so it usually comes through here, but for some reason mine's not fitting, so I've just pushed it up from underneath the top there. I'm going to try and now connect the OBD to this and see what we pull up. Please let it throw up some codes. Right, so I think I understand it. So I've got it all set up, so let's go through this together and see if we can actually get a reading off of this. So first, make sure the ignition is off. That's fine. Locate the vehicle's 16-pin data link connection. Done. Turn the ignition on. Engine can be off or running. Okay, so let's do that first. Let's turn the ignition on. Ignition on. Right, press enter exit button to enter diagnostic menu. A sequence of messages displaying the OBD2 protocols will be observed on the display until the vehicle protocol is detected. Oh, so it's waiting for the vehicle to respond, making weird noises. Don't know if that's normal. See what it comes up with. So it's definitely doing something. So it failed to connect. Verify that the ignition is on. Check if the scan tool's OBD connector is securely connected. So ignition is on. That is all connected. Verify that the vehicle is OBD2 compliant. Turn the ignition off. Wait for about 10 seconds and turn the ignition back to on. Okay. Right. So I've turned it off. I'm going to wait for another 10 seconds and I'm going to repeat that again. I'm not going to show you how I did it again. I'm just going to keep on doing it until I either get something or I don't. Let's see what goes on. Well, that was an epic fail. Can't seem to get this thing to link to my van at all. So it was cheap. It was only £20, so I wasn't I was going to be surprised if I actually managed to get it connected. So it's not too much of a disappointment, if you know what I mean. But I think I can either go and buy a bigger, better scanner that goes into the hundreds of pounds, or I just risk and go and buy the parts, which I'm going to have to change anyway. So I'll show you quickly which parts it is I'm talking about. So the first one is the airflow meter, which is here. Don't ask me what any of these things do, I have no idea, but I'm assuming based on the name it measures the airflow that's coming from in the air intake into the engine, into the turbo, which could be causing the problem with my boost. The other problem is this one here, which is the vacuum pressure sensor. This part here, which does have a lot of vacuum pipes coming off of it, and that even connect, and this main wire here that's going into it also connects to the air intake over here. So I can get that part from Euro, which is coming in at nearly, I think it was just under £100 for that part. And this bad boy here is coming in between £120 and £140, but they don't, Euro car parts does not have that part. I don't know anymore. I'm getting to that point where I don't know what to do. I'm going to have another guy, I've got a friend of mine that's going to come over later and have a quick look and see if he can manage to get the ECU connected, the scanner connected to the ECU. If he can, then fantastic. Hopefully we'll throw up a code and we'll be able to see exactly what the problem is. If not, I might just have to just bite the bullet. Maybe I'll buy the cheapest one first and see if that actually fixes it. That might be a good idea. Now you're thinking, David. Forward thinking, this is what it's going to do. So this part here, this one is the cheaper version. This one's under £100. For this one I can get that from Euro. So maybe I should buy that one first, change it. If it works, Bob's your uncle who solved the problem. If it doesn't, then I'm not the kind of person that returns stuff. So if I've bought it, so I'll just keep that, but then I'll know that it's more than I know that the next part is probably going to be the mass airflow meter. The MAF, I think it's called the MAF. So then I can just go and buy the MAF sensor, the MAF meter, and take that one from there. What can we do? We need to do it. We need to get it running. I want to get it run properly. Right, better get onto Euro, get online and see what I can do. But I'll wait until my friend comes back first and see if he can have a look at it and see if he can figure out what I've done. Again, I don't know how to use these scanners anyway, so I might be doing it completely wrong. I might not even be connected to the right port, but who knows? We shall soon see. I'll keep you updated, guys. I'll let you know what's going on. Right, so it's a few days later. I've been on to Euro Car Park to try and get the vacuum pressure sensor, but unfortunately there's like a 3-week delay on getting that. So I've decided to order the mass airflow sensor from Autodoc, which is a little bit more expensive. I have managed to find it here. So the original one that's on the van is from Pierburg as well. It is the exact one. The only difference in it is the number on the part number on the van is 718.221.1.0, whereas this one is 7.18821.510. But this is coming up for my van. This is a specific one for my van. I've checked with the number plate. It looks exactly the same as the one that's on there already. So I'm hoping this will be the one. It is coming in at £120. So I've gone ahead and ordered that now. Once that arrives, we'll put that on first, check and see if that is the issue. If it is, Bob's your uncle. We'll be happy. We'll be rolling with no issues. If it's not, then I've just wasted £120. Oh wait, £120. Oh, add VAT as well. So let's see, how much does that actually come up to with the... No, I don't want any of the other stuff. £134. But it's not too bad, I suppose. So I know Autodoc does take a bit of time for stuff to arrive. I think it's about a week or so. So once that arrives, we'll stick that on the van, check how that works, and then we'll get back to you.
A few moments later.
So the new part has finally arrived. This is it here, and we're hoping that it fits just in there. So there's only a few things to do to change this. So we're just going to take this clip off. There's a couple of little screws here, so I'm going to take that off. Once I've taken that off, then we'll install the new one in its place. Once the new one's in, then we'll be able to see if that's actually made any change. Right, let's have a look and see if it works. Well, that was an absolute palaver to do, but we did manage to get it on. So it's all attached now. It was a lot harder than we thought, all due to these two screws that are on each side of it. They were rusted on solid. I ended up having to drill them out and then using two new self-tappers to put it on. Hopefully that the issue is resolved. Let's go and take it for a drive and see if it actually has solved the issue. So first things first, let's see if this thing actually starts now. Oh yes, starting up. Reversing camera on. Let's go, let's see if it works. So I brought it up here to an open road to try and open it up. The problem that we had with the van originally is that in slow gears and low first and second gear it would drive fine, but then when it would get up to like third or fourth gear, sorry, I nearly lost Jill there. When it gets up to third or fourth gear, the revs were getting too high and it wasn't picking up power. So that's me currently in fourth. Let's jump into fifth. This is a lot better. It's still building speed. You would put it into fifth and it wouldn't build up speed. It was like it was limiting itself or something. This is brilliant. I'm sitting in fifth gear. I think this is the longest that I've been able to actually sit in fifth gear in this van ever. Has this MAF sensor actually fixed the problem? Oh, I think it has. Oh, I'm so happy. There you go. Come on, so I'm in fifth gear. I haven't changed out of gear yet. I'm putting my foot down and I'm getting power. I'm still in fifth. Slowed down there. Put my foot down, I'm getting power. Oh, thank God. I'm so happy. It drives like a completely different van now. It didn't drive like this before. I'm sitting in fifth gear. I would never sit in fifth gear. I would always have to drop it to fourth and even third to be able to even go up these little hills, these little bumps, this little country road that I'm driving on just now. That's me, I'm still in fifth gear, I'm still going. It's not revving too hard, it's not deafening in the ears. Oh, this is brilliant. I am so happy that that MAF sensor has fixed this issue. Oh my God. Ah! I lost you again there. So happy. I'm still in fifth gear. I haven't even dropped it out of gear yet. This looks like the problem is fixed. Thank for that. No longer do I have to worry about going and buying that extra sensor, about getting the vacuum pressure sensor, or getting something that I can just put on it to think, like, I just slowed right down there. Again, I'm still going. Oh, this is brilliant. Right, I'm gonna get back home. Better put this camera down before I get in trouble. So, let's give it a little drive and show you the speed. second, third, still building, 4. Now usually by the time I got to put it into 5th, that's when it stops building speed. And you end up having to drop it back into 4. But that's in 5th now, and it's still building. Oh, that's brilliant. And I can put my foot down, and I've got power. Look, I put my foot down and I'm actually increasing in power. That never happened before. Oh, I'm so happy that this is fixed. It's, as I said before, it's like driving a completely different van. Oh, it's brilliant. It's like driving it for the first time. Oh, so happy. Get back onto another bit of a straight and see if we can still build up some power. Second, third, still going. 4th, straight, and get it into 5th. It needs 5th now, so when I go into 5th, oh yes, look at that. And I can put a foot down, and I'm getting power. I'm increasing in power. Oh, I'm so happy. Let's see if I can get a new top speed out of this thing. So we're going up a hill in 5th gear. Usually by now I would have had to drop it into 4th. Now again, I haven't done any tuning on it, I haven't had to recode it, nothing. That's me, look, still in 5th gear, haven't changed the gear. Still going up, I'm doing nearly 60 miles per hour now. I think this is the fastest I've probably ever done in this van. Put down in 5th. Are we building? We're still building. I haven't had to code this to the ECU or anything, it was just a straight switch over. This is brilliant. That's me sitting in 5th gear. I haven't had to change it. I've got plenty of power at my foot. Oh, fantastic. Really pleased. Well everyone, that looks like the MAF sensor was a success. We've just been out in it again, me and Rosie, and we tested it some really bad roads. We've got lots of hills, up and down, never failed. Gear, 4th gear, 5th gear, the power was always there. So it looks like changing that MAF sensor has sorted the power issue with our van. I think I'm still going to go ahead and change the vacuum pressure pump, but at least now I can wait a little bit longer to order that one because it takes about 3 weeks to come from Euro. We'll change that over anyway because it is a part that's known to go. But yeah, looking good guys. So if any of you have this issue with your 2.5 TDI, then I would recommend checking the MAF sensor first, because that has fixed my problem straight off the bat. So all good, van's running great. Looks like it's going to be smooth sailing when we go up the Volkswagen at the end of May. What do you think, sweetie?
All good.
Happy with the van now that it's running good?
It is.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, with that enthusiastic approval, Rosie's busy cleaning stuff. We'll leave the video here. If you have any comments or you have any questions, then please drop them in the comments below. Please remember to like and subscribe, and see you in the next one. Cheers guys.